So hello guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you a new game which I made. Actually I made it back in early September, but I'm just now getting around to making a video of it. So you can find it at my website at forestquest.net and just go to the games tab up here and you can play it right here just by clicking this link and you'll be right into the game here. So you can play with tutorial, but hopefully I'll do a good job of explaining how to play the game in this video. So just click play and you're in the world here. So enemies will start to spawn soon, but for now we can cut down a few bushes here and you'll see that that'll give us some material up here, and I'll just keep doing that. So I primarily made this game over the summer and I just wanted to get it out before school started, but now that school is in full swing, I don't have as much time to work on it, but hopefully you can expect some few updates to come. So right here you can see there's an enemy, actually two enemies. So the red ones are just your normal enemy types. They're kind of slow, they don't do much damage. But you can see there's a purple one here, and you'll see that it's also pretty slow, but it's also firing some arrows at us. And so we can return the favor by selecting our bow right here. And also I forgot to mention, you move by pressing W, A, S, and D. And just by clicking we can fire our arrow, and with 2 shots you'll see that the enemy is dead, and we got some points here. So now we have 40 points and our XP is also 40. And we can also go in for the kill here with our sword. And as you can see, the entity is now dead. So you'll see when I use my sword that this little bar above the player goes down to nothing. And if I try to attack while it's at this very low state, it does less damage compared to if I had just let it go to its full capacity. So as you can see, there's a much faster enemy coming. The green ones are much faster, but they don't do as much damage. So as you can see, my health goes down quite slow up here. And we can use our sword, and you can see if I click very fast, it doesn't do much damage at all. And so you can see there's a blue enemy here, and they're very slow, even slower than the red and purple enemies, but they do a lot of damage. So you can see just by being in its path for a second, my health went down quite a bit here. So you don't want to get very close to them, so I prefer to pick them off with some arrows. Oh, and another one up here. And you can see as we fire arrows, our arrow count up here goes down, so we'll have to make some eventually. But I'll use my sword here. And just try to destroy all of them. And so the goal is just to protect your island for as long as you can, all while gaining XP and killing these enemies here. And so you'll see I have some bandages up here, and so when I click, I'll use them, and as you can see my health goes back up a little bit, and you can also create them. I'll show you how later. So there's quite a bit of enemies now, but not quite overwhelming me yet. Alright, so I'll go chop down a few more bushes. Again, you can do this by selecting the axe up here, by using the scroll wheel or pressing 1, and then just clicking on the bush here. It grows smaller. And also you can see you get some saplings down here, so if I scroll down to the saplings, now I can plant them. And they're small right now, but they'll grow into, to be much bigger. And so these red enemies, they only have 20 health, and right now my bow does 10 damage, so it takes 2 arrows to completely kill them. And right up here you can see our wave counter. So this is wave 3, and so every wave, the direction from which the enemies spawn from, whether top down, left or right, it changes most of the time. Sometimes it's the same, so you'll get 2 waves in a row where maybe they come from the top, but it's possible that they could change at every new wave. And every 3 waves you'll get a little nice interval. So you can see it's counting up there. We have 120 seconds and we're 25 seconds in. And that happens every 3 waves. And this is just a time for you to do some other stuff, like cut down some of these bushes to break in the enemies. Enemies will still be there if you haven't killed them yet when the interval is currently going on, but they will not spawn anymore. And so I'll destroy a few bushes. And so what I will do now is go to the create screen. So you can do that by pressing this button or pressing, oops, that's not the right one. Darn, I forgot which. All right, F. Or you can press F to get into the create screen. And you can see here, I can use some of my material that I got from destroying those bushes to make arrows or make bandages or make a bomb, which I'll show you later. And we can also go to the upgrade screen, and I can use some of my XP that I gathered to upgrade my weapon. So for my sword, I can upgrade the damage, I can upgrade the reach, which is how far you can destroy enemies from, the cooldown, which is how fast that bar I was talking about before, how fast that regenerates, and bow, you can upgrade the amount of power it has, which is how fast it goes and how much damage it does, and the cooldown, which again is the same as the sword cooldown. So I'll spend it, I'll increase my damage here, and I'm all out, but except for that. All right. So right now we still have a bit of time left in the interval, and you can see that our bushes have definitely grown a little bit in the time since I've planted them. So soon they'll be at full growth. And so when you destroy a bush, you get 1 sapling for when it's fully grown. So like that. So if it was partially grown, if I tried to destroy one of these, I would only get 1 sapling, because you also get another sapling when you completely destroy it down. And so we have a fast enemy over here. And as you can see, my arrows go a lot faster now. But we didn't upgrade it enough for it to really have an effect on the amount of times I need to hit an enemy before it kills them. So it will still be 2 arrows for the red enemies, although it might be 1 less for the blue ones, who take a lot more damage, but I'm not quite sure. And so this is pretty much the game. You can also, if I don't keep doing that, you can also go to the pause menu, which just crashed the game. How fantastic. Oh, that happens sometimes. I guess I'll just have to reload it. Alright, so back in here. So you can also go to the pause screen here. And so as you can see here, you can adjust the block size, so how big it is. And you can also activate the tutorial if you want, or go back to the main menu. And so once a few more enemies spawn in, I'll show you the bomb, which is pretty useful. I'll just pick off a few, because you want a lot of enemies around for the bomb. And so I plan to add a few more features. It's not completely finished. This is by far actually my biggest pretty much thing I've ever programmed. It's about 4,500 lines of code. My previous one I think was 2,500, maybe 3,000. So obviously this one is quite a bit bigger. I did it over the summer. It was my main project. And I'm not quite done with it, so I hope... so right now, once you leave the world, it's destroyed. Well, it's not destroyed, but it's just not saved, is what I'm trying to say. So you can't go back to it, but hopefully in a future version, I'll use cookies, web browser cookies, to save the game, so when you come back, you'll still be in the same world. Also, right now, you can see if I go and change the block size, you see I go a lot faster. I transverse way many more blocks when I'm in the smaller block size. So right now I'm working on making sure that doesn't happen. It's also the same with FPS. So the FPS is actually tied to the game physics. So the faster your FPS, the faster the game actually runs. So I'm working to make that not happen anymore. And hopefully, maybe in the future, I would like to eventually have some online multiplayer, so you could possibly play with your friends, but not sure if that's going to happen right now. I'd have to learn quite a lot of stuff for that to happen. So, alright, so we have a decent amount of enemies now. I'm going to try to congregate them, get them together. You can see, moving quite slow. We have one archer. And so if you're getting overwhelmed, you can use a bomb, and I'll try to throw it right in the middle of them. And you'll see it makes a huge dent in the ground, but it also kills all of them. And it has a very large radius, so if you just throw it at a bunch of enemies, they'll all die. But it does cost 1,000 materials, so obviously it is quite expensive. Yeah, so that's about it for this game. So I hope you check it out just by going to forestquest.net. Link should be in the description for you to go and play it if you wish. Should work in like all computers. Even tried it out on my school Chromebook. FPS isn't so great, but it still runs. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.